Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rei-Lin, and I'm back with some more Armored Warfare today. This is going to be kind of a quick video because this is more of a hey, heads up video. Two new premium tanks have just been dumped into the store on the website, and I'm not going to have time to dive completely into all of the details and replays and stuff as I normally do with a tank review. Because I'm just not gonna have the time before I go out on the road and kind of, not be able to do any recording at all for the rest of next week due to work. So I wanted to definitely give everyone a heads up that these two new tanks have hit, and just to give you a quick, short overview of the two tanks and whether or not I think they are worth it. And let's start with the T-72M2 Wilk, the Tier 6 main battle tank. And I think it looks kind of cool. I mean, not sure if it needs to look like a tile floor in a bathroom at the front and on the turret, but overall, it's it's got a log, so it is nice and Russian-ish. So we take a quick look at the details. I'm not going to go over them. I'll save that for the main review. It is tier 6, has decent hull armor, has decent frontal turret armor, 6 degrees of gun depression, decent mobility. It's not going to hit 60 unless you're kind of going down a downslope. It is a little sluggish, like most main battle tanks. So this is basically a Russian, but it's being used by the Polish to upgrade the license-built T-72M1s. So you can read all about it. If you just get the tank by itself, it's actually pretty much it's $17. It's $16.25 USD. So for a tier 6, it's not very expensive. That's what my cursor is doing. I'm checking the store to verify the price. And so for that price, for a tier 6 main battle tank, if you play tier 6, if you like, I mean, it's a Polish tank, but it plays exactly like a T-72. It just has more ERA, so you can eat a lot more missiles. I did grab some replays. I've played it a couple of times already, and it does stand up pretty good to missiles, minus the standard. Of course, it's going to break your gun every time you eat a missile, but it held up fairly well. I was actually kind of surprised. So for that kind of price, if you just get the standard bundle, $17, it's a pretty nice little tier 6 main battle tank. I can't really complain. It's Russian, hits like a truck, has decent penetration overall, low profile, 6 degrees of gun depression. I mean, it's your standard Russian / Polish tank. So also keep in mind, it does not get a level 5 crew. You're going to have to build them up from scratch. And the standard stuff from most of my reviews applies as far as retrofits and consumables. And then the second tank that they have thrown on the store is the WWO Wilk. And it is this goofy looking tank destroyer. And it's got a fence around it that doesn't seem to do very much at all other than just aesthetics. I've been hit plenty of times with missiles in my first couple of outings in this tank. And let me tell you, these don't do much of anything as far as absorbing missiles. But it is a tier 8, and take a quick look at the stats. 520 damage, 650 pen, it's okay. 5.28 seconds reload time, that's what I would expect in a tank destroyer, is around 5 seconds or maybe even a little less. No armor whatsoever, crappy health, you can eat basically 2 missiles before you're dead. Max speed is really awesome. But don't let this 0 to 32 fool you. 5.33 seconds, it feels like it's 20 seconds. This thing is slow as dog shit. Honestly, it's very slow on the acceleration. 420 view range, nice. 9 degrees of gun depression, though, so you can actually get this thing sort of hauled down. It is just like all the other tank destroyers in the game that are wheeled. It's gigantic. It sits up like 20 feet up in the air. But since it's got that kind of gun depression, I mean, that's kind of crazy, 9 degrees in the front. You can generally put this thing in places that some of the other tank destroyers cannot go. Now, real quick, I will verify the price on this thing, but I believe it was still $45. Yes, so the tank just by itself with no other bundle crap with it is $44.99. So $45 tank. I can tell you right now, unless you just love collecting all the tanks and you just have to have another giant wheeled tank destroyer, this is definitely not worth $45. It is sluggish, it is slow, it is gigantic. I pretty much got destroyed, wrecked heavily by anything that dared look at me. And honestly, it doesn't feel like the damage is there, even at a 5.28 second reload. It just seems like it's either not enough damage or it's not firing fast enough. I maybe it'll improve a little as my crew levels up, and I throw in a couple of extra, perks for my crew. But as it stands as a base tank, you don't get a level 5 crew, the same as the T-72M2. Did we really need another tank destroyer? I mean, sure, it's also Polish, but it's like, I don't really care. If I wanted to have a tier 8 tank destroyer, it would definitely be the AMX 10 RCR, because it turns like a tracked vehicle. It's a little bit smaller, it fires even faster, does more damage, has more pen, and it's just overall a much better tank destroyer than this thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. These are both in the store. Like I said, I wouldn't get this. It's too expensive for what you're getting, unless you absolutely have to have a tank destroyer, and those are exactly what you've always dreamed of having, and you wanted a tier 8 that wasn't a really awesome AMX 10 RCR for whatever reason. Yeah, forget this thing. It's definitely not a $45 tank. The T-72M2, yeah, it's cheap enough that I could recommend you get this just to have another Russian / Polish tank. It's just another premium to play at tier 6. Tier 6 isn't okay. Things are starting to shoot missiles at you, but not so much that it's complete, utter destructive spam. I would be careful if you get into tier 8 games, because even with that, the ERA is probably not going to save you too much, and you're kind of relegated to sniping. But even then, this tank does fairly decent, like all the kind of Russian tanks and the clones of it from other countries. It does okay. Just wanted to put this out there so that everyone could get to the store before these deals went away, and I'd be late to the party, sort of like with the last bundles. I will have a new video up on those very shortly. The Sabra Mark II first, most likely, and then the Martyr 2 right after that. So that if those tanks become available again, and I'm absolutely sure they will sell them again, you can pick your poison and get the tank that you want, and hopefully it'll be a big help from me to you, which is why I do these reviews. For now, that's all I got. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time.